Coleman's Carpool.
Yes.
We're in Austin.
Yes.
I'm with Kaitlin Sandeno.
Hey.
So you are, the big story is that you are team captain of Team Sandeno.
I am.
For the USA SwimSquads.
SwimSquads. Try saying that 8 times fast.
Seriously. Alright, so can you tell us how you got to be in this position of power?
Wow, now that you say that. So yeah, USA Swimming reached out to me to explain this new concept that they wanted to do, trying to bring a new level of excitement, crowd involvement, you know, look at how well fantasy football does, and then let's try to, you know, go off that. And, you know, there are some swim fantasy leagues out there already. There's a big population on Twitter. They've been awesome. They've been trying to help me out and encourage me. But so I was approached, and they said, you know, we're going to have 4 Legends captains, and they said that I would, you know, be joined by Natalie Coughlin, Jason Lezak, and Lenny Kraselberg. And first I was just really humbled. I was like, I cannot believe I'm A, considered a legend, and B, in the presence of. And I was like, yes, I'd be honored and thrilled and so pumped to be a part of this. So then all the studying was like, all right, start like doing your homework. And then we did the live draft in correlation with the Golden Goggles in, was that November. And I've gotten really into it. It's really fun. I really do think it's bringing like a whole nother level. I don't know if it's just for me because I have a lot invested, right. But I hope other people are enjoying it as much as I am. So yeah, I got Sandeno Squad on, oh my gosh, try that. Sandeno Squad for US SwimSquads. And so I'm pumped. I'm really, really pumped.
So speaking of your swimmers, I heard that you met a couple of them for the first time.
I did. Now it's been so cool too because, you know, I don't know a lot of them. I haven't been to a lot of the swim meets, and yet obviously a younger generation, and I'm not on the pool deck a ton. And so for this meet in particular, I met Michael Andrew last night, and it was funny because I felt like I knew him just because of the power of social media. And so I was like, oh wait, no, I don't know him. So I got to meet him and just really impressed by him. I know he's so young, but he's so mature and such a great person. Like, I'm excited to have obviously fast swimmers, but I'm even more excited to have just like great human beings on my team. So it was great to meet him. And it was so funny, Natalie and I were doing an autograph session last night, and it was like the final kid in line, and he was wearing a Michigan Outdoor sweatshirt, and I was like, oh hey, like, you swam tonight? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how did you do? He's like, I won the 800. I was like, oh my god, you're saying you're on my team. I was so embarrassed. It didn't register, and because he was like, yeah, I'm just a huge fan, wanted to get your autograph. I was like, oh wow, thank you so much. Really? Like, he said that first. And I was like, so how'd you do tonight? And he was like, I won the 800. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm mortified.
Wait, was he like being funny, or did he actually?
I don't know. Zane, were you being funny, or did you really want that autograph? I don't even know. But yeah, then I met him, so that was really cool. But I was thrown off because, you know, Indiana swimmers are wearing the Michigan Matadors right now, and then like Michigan Matadors is like kind of right where I grew up, and actually the nonprofit that I'm swimming for. So if you're whatever swim squad wins, you have a charity of your choice that gets $10,000. So I'm swimming for the Jesse Reese Foundation, and Jesse Reese actually swam on the Matador. So I was like, oh, an Matador's kid, like, so cool. And he's like, I won the 800. I'm like, oh yes, and you won the 200 last night, and I'm hoping you win the mile for me tonight, or no, tomorrow for me. So he's crushing it. That was so exciting. And then ran into Leah Smith at Golden Goggles as well, and she was my #1 draft, so I was super stoked to have her. And it was so cute though, because she reached out to me via Instagram. She's like, hey, just so you know, I'm not going to be at this meet, but it says that I'm there, but I'm not there. I don't know why it says I'm there, because people are like, why isn't Kaitlin putting Leah Smith on her team? You know, like, it's an obvious one. And then she's like, so I have inside scoop. Thank you, Leah, for letting me know that. But she said she'll be at the other one, so I'm pumped for that. But no, I'm just excited. I'm honored. It's cool to be here. I love Austin. So any excuse to come out here, I'm all for it. So speaking of Golden Goggles, you have been working with USA Swimming quite a bit for Deck Pass, so you got to host Golden Goggles. You've done other Deck Pass Live, you know, anchoring. Sure, right? Host,
And so how is it to be kind of on that other side of swimming? And like Golden Goggles, I'm guessing you went to a few.
I went to the first one. I'm like throwback.
Oh, nice.
2004 was the first one, I believe. So that was after Athens, and that was a total blast. But no, it's amazing to be on the other side of it, and I really enjoy it because even when I was swimming, I wasn't like this fountain of information about like swimming in particular. Like even if you were to ask me about best times, I'd be like, oh, I don't know, let me ask my coach. And I think my goal is trying to get to know the athlete more, so you feel like you know them personally more. Like make them more relatable, get to know their story, get to know them a little bit more, because then I think you root for them more. I mean, obviously, if you're on Deck Pass Live or you're at the Golden Goggles, most likely you're a fast swimmer. Okay, you're on the national team or you just swim at the Olympics, etc. So it's like, okay, great, we know that you're a really great butterflyer, but what else about this swimmer? So I think, for me personally, I love that role of like an anchor or a host or somebody that's interviewing other swimmers, just to get to know them more, get to show their story a little bit more, get to profile them as a person. What do they like? What makes them relatable to you? Are they funny? Are they serious? Are they an intellect? Etc., etc. I mean, there's so many interesting people on the USA swimming team, national team, that besides swimming, they have some really cool attributes to highlight.
Yeah. When you were a swimmer, or right after you finished your swimming career, did you see yourself in a role like this?
I always was very comfortable in front of the camera. I'm actually more comfortable in front of a live camera than I am for like pose photos. Like if you're like, oh, would you rather do photo shoots all day or would you rather be an anchor? I'd pick an anchor like at 100%. Like I hate, like I feel like I have the worst post. I'm always like really uncomfortable. And I feel like off the live camera, like it's just me, like I'm comfortable being me, and you know, my personality I think shows a little bit more for that. So I've always been comfortable in that scenario, but you know, it's a competitive field. I feel like everybody wants to do it, and you know, I live in Southern California, so everybody in LA is, you know, trying to get that role. So for me, recently being more involved with USA Swimming is a nice little niche for me. You know, it's the community that gave me so much, and I am still able to do amazing things because of swimming and USA Swimming. And then my biggest, most amazing experience was the role that I had at the Olympic Trials in 2016 with Brendan Hansen, doing the on-deck interviews and getting the crowd involved and hosting the Deck Pass Live every morning. It was such a different adrenaline rush. It was funny because like while I was swimming, I never really got that nervous. But then I go to the Olympic Trials in 2016 as a host, and like my heart was like this. Like every night, it was like you would think I was competing in the morning, but it's a different, like on your toes. There's no real script, and there is a script. If there is, like, well, you're like, don't mess up the script. And then, you know, it's like such an adrenaline rush, and I had such a blast. And into just doing it with Brendan, because Brendan and I go so far back, and we swam on Nike together, and we have very compatible personalities that kind of play off each other well, and doing it with him was just a total blast, and getting reconnected with him as well, because he was a really good friend of mine. And you just, you know, he lives here, I live in Southern California, and married, kids, and I'm married. You kind of drift apart a little bit, but then you get back together. It's like you just pick up right where you left off. And so that was kind of my first like taste of, oh, I really, really like that, and I want to do that again, and I want to stay involved, and I want to get to know the next generation and stay involved in swimming.
Back to SwimSquads.
Okay.
So where do you see this going?
I see us
the
winning.
Rest of the season.
I see us winning, obviously.
Obviously.
You know, it's hard to say, because it is like, so my husband got into fantasy football. So my husband played football in college at Colorado State University, and then everybody just figured, oh, is your husband a big fantasy football guy? And like, he actually wasn't that into it. Okay. And then this past year he started doing it, because we like more of college football. We like pro football, but just not as much as college. But all of his buddies were doing it. It was more of like kind of like a fraternity thing, like let's get all the boys together, an excuse for them to do it. So I saw how into it he was getting, like, oh, I should have swam or I should have played this guy, and oh, my flex, you know. And I'm like, I realized that yesterday. I was like, when Michael Andrew got 9th in prelims in the 100 breast, I was like, ah, dang it, there's the points. And then he got scratched in. I'm like, oh yeah, like it's such a roller coaster of emotion. Yeah. And so you don't know, you know, and when you don't know who's swimming that meet until like 4 or 5 days prior, and then you send in your roster, your lineup, and then you just kind of sit there and you hope and you wait. And then, you know, I put Zane in the 800 and the mile, which is like, oh yeah, he's crushing it. But then, I mean, he won the 200. I'm like, oh, should I put him in the 200 and maybe he'll win the 400? So, you know, it's like that coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's a gamble. And then it's like, oh, we still have such a long season ahead of us. Like, it's only been a few days, and like right now I'm like, oh my gosh, Natalie's just crushing it, of course. And I'm like, no, we have so many swim meets, and I have so many other opportunities. And it's so funny though, like I was such an IMer, and then I was looking at my IM roster. I'm like, did I miss some IMers? I should have picked up a couple more IMers, but it's just later in the season. Like, I know it's going to come, and I have some swimmers that I'm really excited to see swim. It's exciting, and it's totally exciting. But yeah, no, I see us winning, and I see us bringing home the 10 grand for the Jesse Reese Foundation.
Is there, like, can you trade swimmers?
There are. Jason was trying to trade me, but he needed an IMer, and I needed an IMer, and Natalie had all the IMers, and she wasn't trading anybody, and oh, it's getting heated. It's getting heated. So yeah, you can, if you have to, like, accept it, you know? Right.
Can you do, is there, like, certain times where you're allowed to trade? Like, do you guys have a group chat where you're just constant, it's like the stock market?
So I was getting texts from Jason last week, and I couldn't get back to him right away. He's like, hey, let me know. And I was like, I know, I gotta, like, I'm not there right now. And so I think
put the pressure on.
I know, seriously. And I was like, I haven't forgotten about you. I just haven't been able to sit down and look at this lineup. And I was like, I need an IMer if you want to trade an IMer. He's like, nope, don't have any. He's like, Natalie has them all. I'm like, then I got nothing for you, you know? So it has to be, I think it just has to be before the due date that USA Swimming needs your roster.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, it's getting neat. Oh, Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
Have you seen the new one?
So good. Okay. I loved it. There was a part in it where I was kind of like, all right, like, next scene. But I just recently got into Star Wars, mostly because it was so funny, I had no idea my husband was a Star Wars fan. It's like, how do you not know something like about that of somebody? And when the one 2 years ago came out, he's like, I want to go on opening day. I'm like, what? You like Star Wars? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, had no idea. You learn something every day. So I've gotten really into it these days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, huge fan.
This is the street I went the wrong way down.
Oh, I'm glad that you've learned from your mistakes. One-way streets everywhere in Austin. Woo! I'm glad you're driving and not me.
It's dangerous. I have yet to see the new Star Wars.
What?
But it's on my list.
Oh, come on.
So, well, we were supposed to go over the holidays as like a family, and then we never got the time, and so then I haven't gotten it yet, but I will.
Okay. Huge fan? Obviously not.
No.
Mediocre fan.
Yeah, I like it. Like, I grew up watching the originals, and then I was, you know, a kid when the next three came out in theaters, and I really liked those as a kid. And so, yeah, I've seen all of them. And
favorite character?
They're good.
Oh, I'm hitting you. Now I'm interviewing you.
Favorite Star Wars character? When I was younger, it was probably Darth Maul.
Wow.
The horned guy with the double lightsaber.
Whoa. What does that tell us about you?
I don't know. I just thought he was cool.
Oh, there's a swimmer. Look at swim backpack, wet hair, equipment bag. Spotted.
On the bike?
No, at the crosswalk.
Oh, I can't. Okay. The bikers were in my line of vision. It's like,
on the bike?
I don't think so.
My favorite character is Chewbacca, obviously. Okay. How cute is he? I love him. And his little noises. Hairy and cute.
I don't know. He's like, Wookiees are pretty deadly.
I love them so much.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What's that say about me?
Chewie's cool.
What do you want to talk about now?
I had a friend at my old job, and like anytime there was like 2 seconds of silence, he'd just be like, so what do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I do that at family dinners all the time. Like, they're like, Kaitlin, we're eating. I'm like, what do you guys want to talk about now? It's like, quiet. I'm like uncomfortable. What should we talk about?
Have you seen any other good movies recently?
I really want to see The Darkest Hour. That's next on my list. Okay. But no, I just saw Molly's Game. And that was like mind-blowing. Have you seen that? I had no idea any of that happened. I had no idea.
Oh, it was based on a true story?
Yes. Get with it. God, I feel like you're like are sheltered. I think we need to get you out more.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I've probably seen all the movies that you haven't.
I know, right? Did you see The Shape of Water?
No.
Do you want to see that one?
No.
Okay.
I saw The Disaster Artist.
Okay. Good? Yeah? No? I don't know what to think about that.
It was actually really good.
Okay.
It was very entertaining.
Okay, there you go.
But, yeah, it was interesting because I hadn't seen The Room, which...
No, and I haven't either. And everybody's like, you have to see it. It's like the worst movie ever, but it's like the best movie ever. Right.
Yeah, so it's like this very... It was like a serious movie, but it was just like terrible. And I think, like, that's why everyone likes it, right? And so... The Room is like the story, The Disaster Artist is the story of how it got made.
Okay, got it.
And so it's like a really endearing story, and it's like very relatable, because the story of how it got made is like, you know, this artist wants to make this thing, and like it keeps not happening, or like people keep saying it's not going to happen, and then it's a big success. And so, you know, it's kind of like.
Did you see when James Franco went to get his award, and then he's like, no, you do not get the microphone.
I saw he was on some talk show, and like someone asked him about that, and he's like, okay, well, I wanted, like, it was fine that he came up, but like I had to thank my brother, and you only get so much time to talk, and like he had been telling me all night what he was gonna say.
Oh my gosh.
Which was, we need to love each other more. It's like, and like, I know he's gonna say that, but like, I had to thank my brother.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That was like one of the best parts of the show.
Lady Bird was really sweet. If you've ever been, high school girl.
I have.
A high school senior.
I have been a high school senior girl.
Leaving your mom.
Oh my gosh.
Like that like really hits you.
Oh my gosh, my mom and I are so close, and I mean, I went to school like 50 minutes from my parents, and I was like, it's so sad. But one like my most crushing moments ever was when I graduated from USC. I moved to University of Michigan to continue my training there, and that was like, I mean, packing up from Orange County and going to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and my mom drove me to LAX, and I just bawled the whole flight from LA to Ann Arbor, and my mom was just a mess. I was a mess. That was literally like, looking back to it, even to this day, I still like, it was the hardest day of my life. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna call that carpool over.
Was that good? Was that a good one?
That was a good one. I think we nailed it.
Yes, on the first try.
On the first try.